Hi, welcome to the third part of my Hitman Absolution Purist walkthrough. We start off on the fifth mission, which is Hunt or Hunted, or Hunter or Hunted, I think. Probably one of the two annoying bits of this. It took quite a while to get past this initial section. I wasn't quite sure how to move past it, but yeah, after a little bit of plotting, I found a truly easy method that kind of shocked me a little. Just stroll along there, don't obviously hurt anyone. One of the things that changes from hard to expert is there is a guy that will come down these stairs just here, and he will come back up them. So I tried just moving around him initially, and he'll eventually come back and spot you in the back. The other handy thing about taking this first guy out is that you need his disguise, or you want his disguise, because it helps for pretty much the whole entire mission. The one difference with disguises, although they might be a little useless, is the fact that they take a little longer to spot you at times, especially I'll show you during the abandoned apartment building. They will spot you if you don't have the disguise. So just Garrett, that guy, take him out and dump him in the dumpster just there, and take his disguise, and we'll move on from here. Just up here, I was a little messier than I probably should have been, but or I shouldn't have been, sorry. What you do is just slowly move up, get on the cover there on the bins, and just wait a second for this guy just in front to move across. He'll eventually move in front of the car and get on the walkie, move across and get your bottle out. One thing I need to probably point out here, and I've got a little bit of time to do it, is that all of my assassin techniques are fully upgraded from beating the game initially, so I can throw further. I'm not spotted as easily, so I'm not sure whether or not it's something that you might want to do, but some of my methods might not work for people that don't have the appropriate techniques unlocked. So you'll see here I can throw a bottle quite a fair way. I'm not sure you can do that without the technique, so just wait until the guy on the left, you'll see him in a second, wait till he moves across there. He'll go and check that out, move around slowly. Normally you want to try and jump over just after that fellow right in front of you turns around, but if you don't, fear not, because you can generally just make your way to the exit there. I probably didn't explain that as well as I would have liked, but yeah, I'm sure you'll get the gist of what I was trying to do there. Pick the lock and move on to the first assassination of this mission, and the first in a little while. This is quite simple. You just jump up on the ledge there. They won't spot you regardless of how hard you try. Maybe if you're running, standing up, they might. I don't think so. Just move along and jump in the window there. Pick up the evidence if you're a score whore. Pick up the key card and pick up the P226. That's a silenced one if you didn't know, and pick up the bottle because you will need that for later. So just hold on to that, don't use it if you can help it. We just go into the fabled strip club level. Okay, so Dom's at the bar. I think I'd walk over to see him, but you don't really need to. He's going to go on his set path regardless. But you just move past there. It doesn't matter if you run, they don't mind. Quickly come up here, and you got one bouncer just standing right there. Just wait for him to turn and walk. I almost got spotted there, which was stupid. But just all you want to do is get the two people inside that room to engage in their conversation so that they'll walk out later, and it gives you a free path to the exit. If you don't do that, it'll just make things difficult for you later on. So once you hear that conversation going on with those two, move back down, go into this room, and obviously you got that key card from before, so you should be able to open that door, and you can just sit there and wait. That glass is one-sided, so he won't see you no matter how hard he tries. Basically just sit down and enjoy the show, and yeah. Okay, so basically once he stands up, we want to just shoot him. Basically, like, just, you'll see that I check to make sure the stripper's gone and that the curtain has fully drawn over. Once that's done, he'll just be standing there on the phone, and you just shoot him in the head and throw him in that case behind me. Loosening up the shoulders for the clean kill, I think.
I'm sending up a new girl. Yeah.
Straight in the eyeball. How you doing, mate? Okay. So, funnily enough, they don't hear that glass shattering, but sure. Dump him in there, and make sure you holster your weapon. Probably smart to walk around with a silenced pistol, but same thing applies here. Obviously he's walking away now, so I should be good, and I am. He might see you, he might not. Most of the time he won't. You just walk up the stairs and pick the lock to move on to the dressing rooms. This one's a bit of a precision involved. Like I said, if you had that bottle from before, I recommended it. There's a bottle right there if you don't have it, but it helps. I mean, you can get away with not having the bottle. It's not the end of the world, but it does make life a little easier. I done goofed up here. I ran a little too fast and I almost got spotted. Managed to avert it, but I'll tell you how how to do it. I obviously show you a way of how to almost screw it up. Throw the bottle over in that corner and get the two guys to look away. Those strippers over there won't see you. As you can see here, I'm about to run up and almost yeah. That's how I screwed it up. The problem with that is that a guy comes down those stairs and he almost spots me, but luckily I get away with that. Okay, so as he moves up, you just sit on this corner here. Once again, if you didn't have the bottle from the start, if you look to your left, right here, there's a fire extinguisher that you can pick up fairly safely. You're going to need it to divert the attention of the guy standing there at the back, and he is the sole focus right here. The guy with his arm on the doorway, he is going to walk off out and to go downstairs. As soon as he goes, that guy at the back, as soon as he moves around, get a bottle or an extinguisher and just throw it over in that corner. Pull out your pistol and shoot this guy dead as soon as you can. He probably won't see you if he goes stationary on that wall. Anyway, just drag him over if you want to save your points, and dump him in the closet. Once you've done that, then you just move over and answer the answering machine, and that will conclude and bring us on to the abandoned building, which is probably the most annoying part. There's a lot of little specifics you have to remember here to get it right. I walk over here all the time because it sets this guy right in front of us on his course, so just walk over there, walk back, go around behind him, and walk straight through here. He should be clear. There is never any enemies here. Just wait for this guy to move on, and once he does, you just move on and sit on this cover here and just watch out for him to walk out. There'll be another guy that walks out there. He'll turn and come towards you, but he won't he'll only come halfway. The other guy will come back though. So when you see the first guy turn, go around on this cover and just wait for the second guy to come. As soon as he does, you can just walk along, stay on the right wall as much as you can, and follow this fellow up and pick up a bottle, or you can just keep your knife, up to you. But just stand there in the corner, he'll turn around, he won't know. Just wait for him to go down a little, you'll see how far I let him go. About a third of the way. Alright, so just move out, and you got to go towards that staircase a little to get the guy on top of the staircase to come down. There is a guy to our right, but that's why we waited for the guy in that broken down hallway, is because if you wait a little, it sets the path up so that as soon as this guy comes out and you just wait a few seconds, not really sure how long, or just as what you feel is right. But anyway, yeah, as you see, that guy's leaving and this guy is still at the top. He won't spot you that easily. It's probably best to just go up a little and do what I did there. That guy, as you can see below, just looks straight ahead, so he's not a big issue. Pull out the bottle that you picked up before and just lob it in the corner. You can subdue this guy if you really feel the need to. It doesn't really matter. But if you throw the bottle, you avoid losing any points, and you can just move across and break through the door here. And we move on to the convenience store. This is another one that's really good to have, and probably the reason why I suggested you get the police costume at the start, because you shouldn't have really. I shouldn't have gone down there. Just wait for the guy over on that right hand building. You can see him. He'll turn around. If you go down while he's there, he'll spot you. So we'll just wait for him to turn. As he does, we climb down and wait for this guy here to just turn around and move across and go across the ledge. Yeah, the reason we want the police costume here is because when you're in the convenience store, the store clerks are not a bother. Like you can go past them without any issues. They don't cause alarm at all if you're a cop. If you are a store clerk or yourself, of course, they'll spot you. And if you're a store clerk, I'm pretty sure the cops will spot you. Perhaps not. Hopefully they are. If that's the case, if you go to the right of where I just went, there's a store clerk costume in the back kitchen area, so you can just pick that up and try that out if you want, or you can just stick to my plan. But actually no, I wouldn't recommend that, because at the end of this, probably the hardest part about escaping here is there's two store clerks standing in your road, and you can't get around them without getting spotted unless you're a cop. So it just makes everything easier to be a police officer in this situation. As you can see, there's a fair few opportunities where you can just go and garrot a police officer if you don't actually have the costume yet. Just wait for him to move back and go and light the fireworks here after you've done the valve. When you do that, obviously it creates diversions, but still just wait here for a second because he's going to come back. Let's just do a bit more waiting and waiting. There's a little bit of waiting to do here to finish off this mission, but almost there. Okay, so we move across and we go back to where we were before. Sit there, open the door on cover if you can, and you'll notice one guy there and another guy come up behind him. The first guy will walk away, but the second guy will stand there for a second. Typically he pretty much stands there until that door closes, so once he backs away, you'll go to walk out, I'm sure the door will close, and obviously just open the door again. There we go. Open the door again, move across here to this aisle and wait for a cop to come, and then come back on this wall. He'll just do a U-turn and go back down the aisle. I'm not quite sure why they wanted to stay in here with some fire smoke, but sure, that's what they had to do. Alright, so
Okay.
move across here, wait for them to have their little discussion about getting out and forgetting about you. It takes a little bit here. I was just being careful. It was the first time actually going through it, so I was just making sure that I wasn't going to get spotted. But wait for him to turn. As soon as he does, you should be free to walk out the front door. There's a few guys over there. They'd never turn around no matter how hard you try. There's 2 store clerks, as I mentioned before. I was just being careful here again. I'm not sure if you could make that run, but either way he just turns around and you can just walk away and go straight to the exit door. Moving on to the last moving on to the last bit of this. This is a pretty tricky one. There's a guy that's standing to our left. There's evidence there if you want a bit of score. I grab it there. That guy there on the left hand in the window, he can't see you, but he never moves. So what you want to do is wait for that guy to come out and just throw this in the corner. Come back and get another bottle. And look out there and just throw it out there, and that'll deal with the 2 guys out there. You'll be able to move in and jump in the freezer. Once you do that, you will be waiting for the other cop that you dodged in the first place to you'll be waiting for him to come out. As soon as he turns around, which is fairly quickly, you can jump out and Garrett this enemy right here. Once you do that, just dump him in the freezer and move on to the exit and pick the lock. You should be fairly safe. I dawdled to make sure I wasn't going to get spotted, and I still had time to get it, so as you can see he'll just turn to his left. All good. Okay, so move on to Chinatown and the second version of it when you have to take out 3 targets. This is after I reloaded a checkpoint, so it may vary on your first attempt, but basically the gist of it is we're going to kill the first guy by dismantling the gas pump and having him throw a cigarette in it. You've got a store vendor and a cop there. It doesn't matter if you're dressed as a cop, he'll still spot you, so just make sure they both turn around to that bottle. Pick up the sledgehammer just for good measure and dismantle the gas pump here. When you do that, move on up here and just sit in cover. He's not going to turn around to look at you at all. There is ways where you can either kill the vendor when he's turned around with the fibre wire, because the other guy won't hear it, or you can throw a sledgehammer or something in front of him, but for the most part you can just sit here and wait for him to finish his cigarette. He'll turn around, and when he does that you can easily just jump out just there. Stick to the right hand side because the cop there will spot you if you're not careful, and just turn down this right hand area. As you just walk down here, there's plenty of ways that you can do it. You can go over to the left hand side, as I'll show you in a second, and steal Birdie's file and get the other guy killed before this one, but it doesn't really matter. All these enemies are pretty much set in motion by you going in the vicinity of them. They don't exactly move unless you kind of go near them, so if you just follow this path it'll all work out fine.
Yeah, you, that's right. Come here for a moment. Yeah, come on. That's much better. Come on.
Okay. So we knock him out, and the first guy's done. I'm just going to do a little challenge here, the one for saving the civilian from this bad guy, and you don't have to do it, it just speeds up the process. Sorry, yawn. It just speeds up the process. If you throw the thingo, wait for him to speak, I guess. If he doesn't speak, just move up a little and he should speak for you, but throw that. Somehow I managed to throw that in the bin. That was a good throw, I meant that, don't worry. Anyway, yeah, once he investigates that, he'll turn around and walk away. Pretty much just watch for him to touch the top of those stairs there. Once he does that, give it a second, and pow. Drop that on his head. You should be fine. Holster your weapon, of course, and just move on straight ahead. Be careful for cops always. They're not too many in this level, even on Purist or Expert, but for the most part they spotted me a couple of times, and it's pretty frustrating. You can see him walking down there, so just come down the stairs and go in the chute. Once you go in here, go all the way along, and I don't know, I think, what was I doing? I was figuring out whether or not I wanted to kill him this way or use fibre wire, I think.
Either way, this won't come cheap.
Okay, so obviously you see there, I just jumped down and knock him out there by taking away the thing, and now I'm going to walk off back to where I took him out the first time, and that is the exit, which is pretty much just wait for him to die and just walk straight out the exit. Once again, just stick to the path that I take. It seems like probably the best one that you can take to avoid getting detected by any cops that you might encounter. Just walk slowly if you want. Yeah, you pretty much just, I stood here, but really you can just stand looking at the door, and with your back to it, you'll never get spotted. As soon as it comes out, bang, there you go, done. Thanks for watching that. I'll have the next parts up soon. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more. See you guys.